So, Sairam, everyone, warm welcome to this session. Actually, the main agenda of this session is um, am I audible? Can you please confirm me once again so that it doesn't lead to any misconceptions between both of us? Yeah, right. Sairam, brother Satish, Sairam Jashwant. Thank you. So, the main intention behind this session is uh, whatever the skill you may be possessing, whatever how much intelligent you may be, if you don't know how to approach the interviews, how to prepare the resumes, and how to negotiate yourself in the interviews with the companies, no matter how talented you may be, you'll always feel demotivated. You won't be getting whatever the job you are targeting to get. So the first important thing here is keep the technical skills aside. First of all, you should know how to approach the companies. You should know how to maintain your social profile, like LinkedIn profiles, Naukri, and all these things. And you should know how to use negotiation skills and corporate etiquettes while you are negotiating your salary or some benefits with the companies. So we have planned this session in such a way that this session goes like a discussion between me and brother Vishwant. So, what and all the questions that I have collected from your end, I'll be asking them each and everything to Brother Vishwant and or Brother Lavin. Both of it is same. So he will be answering each and everything. So before knowing who Lavin is, so actually he is a head HR from Geetham University. He got expertise in recruitment. He usually deals with the recruitment of the technical staff uh, senior programmers, from the analysts and all these things, all these people he usually recruits. And you know the magnanimity of the Geetham University. The Geetham University has three different universities established in three different locations. The first, it is having its head office in the Visakhapatnam, and it is having its other universities, or you can say the branches at Hyderabad and Bangalore. So, Brother Vishwan deals with the recruitment of the non technical staff, like non teaching staff, across all the three campuses. And he is well versed with the recruitment process in the human resources. So, I think he is the best person who could solve most of your doubts regarding this. So, in this context, I just divided the entire session into three parts. In first part, we will be talking about the resume making and all the secrets that any candidate wants to know from the recruiter. So you will be shared with all these different kinds of secret bombs that any candidate is looking for. This in second part we will be dealing with all kinds of interview tricks and tips, how to present yourself in the interviews and how to um, crack the interviews, even dealing with the business case studies and all these things. When it comes to the third part, we will be discussing more about the negotiation part. So even though you may be expecting, so the entire agenda behind attending the interviews and doing the hard work is to get a dream job, right? To get a dream salary, to make our livelihood. So if that is not met, what is the purpose of all these things? Attending the interviews, preparing the resumes. So the final thing is we are going to learn about the negotiation techniques as well. So let us start the discussion. So even before getting into the discussion, I just want to introduce Brother Lavin to you. Brother Lavin, could you please unmute yourself and could you please introduce yourself to the audience? And I request each and everyone to pin my screen as well as Brother Lavin's screen. Brother Lavin, am I audible? So in meanwhile, I just want you to know few facts regarding the recruitment so that you will get good idea about it. As per the recent metrics, as per the recent survey conducted by the Fortune 500 companies, when you when 100 applications they receive, only 13% of the applications will get shortlisted. So as you can see, it is only 13% of the applications will get shortlisted. Out of this 13 percentage, only 26% of the applicants will get an opportunity to work in those companies. As you can see, from 100 people, only 3 to 2 people are getting chance to work. So how tightly, how jam packed it is, how jam packed the market is. Even when you are competing for the government examinations, it is less than 1%. That's a different ball game. When it comes to the private market, also it is so much jam packed. So this session mainly aims to help you to crack your dream job, especially when it comes to preparing the resumes, attending the interviews, and negotiating with the HRs. So all kinds of questions that you may be having, you just please note them down. At the end of the session, we will be giving you 15 minutes, so you can directly interact with the host. You can directly interact with the guest, and you can ask your questions, whatever you will be having.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brother Loving, it's really pleasure meeting you after a long time, and we have been waiting for a session like this because, as you know, even though we excel at technical skills, but somewhere we are lagging because how good I am at data analytics. Sometimes even the average companies are not shortlisting my profiles. So this is the thing
Mm.
which every time when I am applying for the company, there is a small doubt from my side whether I'll get shortlisted or not. So I just wanted to know what is happening at the back end and what kind of profiles will get shortlisted. And is there any secret mantra for getting shortlisted? Is there any technique for getting resumes shortlisted? Can you please reveal?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, before I start, maybe I should thank you and the entire organizing committee and the entire crowd who has joined for joining this session. It's a valuable time Sunday evening. And yeah, big thanks and gratitude to Swami and my parents for making me be here. Yeah, getting on to your point, one appropriate technique I would say, which helps anyone, is that customization of the CV. Okay. The major blunder which most of us, maybe including me at times, we do is we send the same CV for multiple jobs, or we send the same CV to every company that we apply.
Yes,
And
yes.
that is maybe that sounds silly, but that is a very valuable point that we have to make a note of, and try to customize the CVs according to the job description, right? So, as you said, if you are applying for business analysis, obviously, in the key skills section, maybe you can have something like advanced Excel, or you can have something like latest technologies on analysis like Power BI, or maybe any analytical tools, or you can have some keywords like dashboards. Or if you have those words which will relate to the job description, definitely you will be a step ahead than other candidates who have applied for the job. So key point is you customize your resume. Suppose I am applying for customer support job. Obviously, I should mention good skills about communication, good at communication, good listening skills, right? Or ability to take stress, that kind of skills. Because for customer support, you need a lot of patience, you need very good communication, you need very good interpersonal skills. So that skills will exactly match the customer support role. So you have to mention that. But suppose you are going for a teaching job, obviously those might be good skills, but those might not really fetch you the teaching job. Maybe when you attend a teaching job interview, you'll have to mention more about your subject, right? Maybe research oriented skills, or maybe subject oriented skills, or maybe any good ranks that you have secured, or maybe any papers that you have published, or the novels that you read, whatever it may be, which synchronizes with the teaching job. Okay.
Got it.
So, yeah,
It
it
means it
depends.
means my resume should align with the job title I am applying, right? It shouldn't contain all the unnecessary things which I have done in the past.
Obviously, obviously. And main thing is change your CV for every different industry, if not job, at least different industry that you're applying for, right? So you mention sales skills and you go for a software job. How is it related?
Yes, got it. Got your point.
Right? Somebody has done BTech, CSC, or IT. They should mention maybe Python, Django,
It will be
Java,
more like a
.NET.
mechanic applying for a surgeon job. They feel like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, that is perfect example, Chaitanya. True. So you're going for a software job, mention some good skills, C, C Sharp, Java, .NET, or Python, or databases, or testing. You're going for a sales job, mention sales related skills, negotiation skills, communication skills, persuasion skills, N number. And most important is you should align your CV with the job description that you're applying for. So first thing you have to do is before applying for any job, you should at least see job description for 5 minutes, what the role is all about, so that you can uh, change your resume according to that role and apply, whether it is directly walk in or whether you apply on portal. Modifying or customizing CV as per the JD is very, very important, which we all should start imbibing.
Uh, Brother, I have another thing which concerns me more. Brother, can you please give us five mistakes that usually any applicant will do when it comes to resume making? Any five mistakes that most of them will be doing?
Wonderful question. Much needed question. Most important question these days. See, we keep doing a lot of interviews, and maybe five best common errors I would say which people make. First point is unprofessional email IDs. Right?
Great.
Ravi rocks at
Got
the
it.
rate gmail.com. Huh? Monica crazy at the rate yahoo.com. What would interviewer do if Monica is crazy or Ravi is rocking? It has nothing to do with that, right?
Yes, yes.
So not to pull somebody's leg, just as a fun, to make us lively. Because when you ask this question, I'm able to recollect the CVs which I keep seeing in the interview room when I sit for the interview. Or somebody has mentioned way back. I can't remember the name. Maybe some Praveen or something. He has mentioned Praveen.rdx at the rate gmail.com. RDX, what would that do in the CV? It's a dangerous thing to mention. You know, it works for military people or it works for army people. What does RDX do in a CV? So that is one blunt mistake which most of us make. Because see, it is not their mistake, but maybe they're not aware the kind of impact it will have on interviewer's mind when he or she looks at the CV, right? Mail ID is very important mode of communication between employer and the candidate, between the company and the candidate, right? Because lot of professional communication goes from company to candidate through that email ID. So it is very, very important that we mention that email ID as professional as possible, right? If you ask me, sir, how can we write an email ID? If my name, I would say laveen at the rate gmail.com. Simple. Or Laveen HR, because my domain is HR, Laveen HR at the rate gmail.com. Right? Or Laveen.m, my initial, at the rate gmail.com. These are simple ones. Right? Try first with your name. If it's not accepting, add your date of birth here. 89, 96, 92 after your name at the rate gmail.com, or use underscore or dots, that's okay. But don't use, very crazy and very attractive words, which rather gives a negative impression to the employer. First thing. Second thing, customization of CV, which I told. Everybody wants to copy paste a CV and use the same CV for every job. రీసెంట్ గా చేంజ్ చేశాను కదా ఇప్పటికిప్పుడు నాలో చేంజ్ ఏం వచ్చింది అనుకుంటారు. నో, దట్ ఇస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్. As I said, you're going for sales job, mention sales related skills. You're going for a software job, mention software related skills. If you're going for some pharma job, try to fetch some keywords which are related to pharma industry. Go ahead. So like that, try to make minimal customizations. You don't need to change your entire resume. Go through the job description, put the job description related skills in your CV. But at the same time, I'm not saying you should dump what all is there in the job description in your CV, because you'll also have to justify in the interview fast.
Yes,
What
yes.
are related to you, your personality, your knowledge, and what is there in that job description which is matching to your skills. If it is matching, go ahead and pick that word and put in your CV. So that is one thing. Second thing, which you should avoid using the same CV for all jobs or for multiple jobs. Third thing is that people use paragraphs in the CV and they put lengthy CVs. No, they
I
make
can
it
I
lengthy.
can relate it to my resume as well.
Yeah. So see, why does a fresher need 2 page, 3 page resume? What does he do? And I keep telling this resume is face of us. Before we go to the interview, before we step into the company, our CV will step into the company. So before even employer sees us, our CV speaks a lot about us. And it is not us, it is not just Lavin here, or it's not just Chaitanya. There are 10,000 Lavins, there are maybe 1 lakh Chaitanya sitting out who have applied for that job, right? Why
Absolutely.
does, yeah, why does employer spend so much of time in seeing one CV? Hardly he'll spend 3 seconds or 5 seconds. I personally do. As a recruiter, I'll not spend more than 5 seconds on a CV, right? And why does he go through all 2 pages, 3 pages? No. My suggestion or my advice is for freshers specifically, have 1 page CV, more than enough. Experienced people, 6 years, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, have 2 page. People who are into teaching, they may have 4 pages, 5 pages. People who are into research and scientists, they may have 10 pages. That's absolutely okay because their profession is all about research. But when we are not into all those, why do we need to prepare so much? It'll be like you're boasting yourself. That is the danger. So you shouldn't squeeze your resume with too much of information which is not really needed for the interviewer. Many people write their entire address, including pin code, including mandal, including district, town, village, street, road. Why? What would employer do with your street and door number? No. So keep it simple. Put your location. Ante. Laveen is from Vizag. Chaitanya is from Rajahmundry. That's it. Rajahmundry, all employers would know Rajahmundry is very much in Andhra Pradesh, right? Or maximum, your town and your state name is more than enough. This is one small example I'm giving. Like that, about projects also, they write entire history. Your project in your MBA or BBA or BCom might be 100 pages project, but you don't need to mention all that here. You need to just mention the project title, key findings, or maybe brief summary of the project in 3, 4 lines. Like that, you shorten the information which you are putting in your resume. Too lengthy resume, no, not at all advisable. Third point is done. Fourth point is use bullet points. No? Many people don't do that. Bullet points will drag the attention of the recruiter to particular area that you have in your resume. Suppose you have worked somewhere and you've written a paragraph. Why would recruiter go through all those? When you're writing about your job, key responsibilities, why not you cut short 10 words into 1, 2 words and put as a bullet point? Achieved 80% target in quarter 3, Q3. How good is this? Or you write the same point as I have planned some strategies to achieve my target in quarter 3, and then in those plans I had this much budget. I worked very hard. I built a team. I did this. I did that. No, recruiter doesn't have so much of time to do all those. So put short. Use bullet points and always follow chronological order. Right? Suppose uh, I have worked for 3 companies. Okay. The latest company, Geetham University, I'm working will be on the top. Before this will be below that. Before that company which I work will be below that. Right. That is how I need to put any section it might be. I take my work experience and put in the second page or end of the page after my personal details, no use. You have to highlight your experience, right? Or you, if you're a fresher, you take your education and you put in second page towards the end. What is the use? You're a fresher, obviously employer would like to know where you passed out from. So you should put all the headings that you're using in a chronological order. First, your name, your contact details, email ID, then your career objective, then your education if you're a fresher, or if you're an experienced, your work experience, then about your project, then comes about your skills, then comes about your personal details. This is an ideal chronological order. So four are done. And last one, which most people do this mistake, is that punctuation, grammar, and spelling mistakes. Friends, this is very, 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 very important point. Most of the freshers get caught in the interview because of these mistakes. Because
I
exam
really agree. I really agree, brother.
true,
Yes,
true.
yes, yes.
See,
Because
many people are
there is a
responding.
particular
Yeah,
software called ATS. It plucks it out.
let's it out very much. And I, if you want me to give live example, day before yesterday, Friday, we had MBA HR people calling to our organization, and then we did an interview. There were three candidates who have come. There is one position. We didn't call too many because my subordinates have already done the screenings over the phone, what they have to do. These guys were finally selected by them. From those three, I have to pick. They have already scrutinized hundreds of resumes and all of them. Now, this guy, he has mentioned in his CV, one page CV. See, all three are MBA freshers. All three are very good at academics. And all three have got very good percentages. All three have got very good communication skills. But I need to pick only one guy. All are freshers. Now, for me also, as an interviewer, it is a challenge, right? And all three are localites. All have equal skills. But as an interviewer, I have to find something where I can differentiate candidate to candidate, right? So that
Yes.
is my approach, and that is approach of every HR who sits in the interview. HR interviewer doesn't know anything. Let me be very, very blunt. We study MBA HR. How can we interview an engineer? We study an HR. How can we interview a pharmacist? How can we interview a civil engineer? How can we interview a mechanical engineer? How can we interview a person who is from hospitality? How can we interview people at the level of director and general managers?
Yes.
You know,
In this context, I should tell these people that you are involved even in recruiting directors and more senior managers in recruitment as well. So that
obviously,
is
God's
my
grace.
main doubt. How you people study MBA HR and how could you judge?
So that's what I'm telling. See, every HR, any HR, even if an HR works in Google or Microsoft, let me be very transparent. Not every HR has 100% knowledge. 60 to 80% of the questions would come from candidate's CV in an interview room, in HR interview. Remember this, friends. And this is very true. I'm telling with my own personal experience. And now going back to that scenario, this person who has come, one candidate among that, he has written in his CV hard skills. If somebody can, if anybody can just raise hands, if anybody has heard this terminology called hard skills, HART, hard skills. See, it's surprising, is it? So
Yeah, really.
even I myself, I have done thousands of interviews. I myself was surprised. For a second, I was thinking within me, what is this hard skill? You know, because see, my style is not to frighten the candidate in an interview. My technique is first I make the candidate very much comfortable, okay, so that he'll express himself. Purpose of interview is not to scare the candidates, right? Rather they express. So that's why I do it in a funny way. at the beginning so that I'll make him little cool. So as soon as I have seen that hard skill, I asked him one question. Did you work very hard to attain this skill? That is why you have named it as hard skill. What is that hard skill? I asked him. So he was obviously fresher. You know how pure their hearts are, innocent, no little. So he didn't knew anything. He was just trying to manage, and out of a blue moon, he has suddenly told, "Sir, those are called inherent skills."
Oh,
Then I told, "What is inherent?" You all know what is inherent. Inherent means something which comes from within, right? You don't need to specifically take training, so many trainings, or learn it very hard. Those come by itself. Then below that section or heading of hard skills, you have mentioned MS Office along with some other skills. Then I asked him, is MS Office inherent skill? Is that skill comes to you or people by birth or something like that? Then he smiled. And no, sir, nothing like that. Then why
maybe
did you mention?
maybe he might have got MS Office by birth.
True.
That thing we should assume.
So see, ideally it is a technical skill, right? It's
Yes,
not a
yes,
hard
brother.
skill, and he should have mentioned it. So this is major mistake that they make. You know, they don't know the context, which skills where to be shown, and they don't know the terminology what should be used. They don't know what words should be used. You know, they just pick it up randomly somewhere from friend CV or somewhere out of the blue, and
So the words and the terminologies and the sentences related to their domain, they have to use it in the resume, right?
obviously, and
Okay.
most commonly used things, right? Skills, put it simple, just skills. Nobody will question, you know. Or if you want to get into Java, Python, that kind of things, you mention software skills, right? Or you mention technical skills, right? Or you can even mention something personal attributes, if not skills. You want to tell something about yourself, right? But don't use wrong jargons, because that will give a negative impact, and that will make you fall in the soup by yourself by inviting unnecessary questions like that. The other poor candidate, how he got caught with my question. So that is how it would be, right? And punctuation, see, basic things. After full stop, we have been learning since standard one that after full stop, there should be space. After comma, there should be space, right? You're a postgraduate coming to attend an interview and you make blunder, minor mistakes, punctuation marks. This might sound very silly to you, but for recruiter, he is searching for questions in your CV. He is not prepared as an interviewer, as an HR. He wants to pull out the loopholes in your CV. So that is why how important it is that you write or type correct spellings. You use correct spaces. You use correct words. You use correct terminologies. You use correct grammar, right? Many people say peoples. I've seen this common mistake in CV. People is plural. There are no peoples. There is person singular. There is people plural. Correct? If I'm if people who are good at English can help me. There is never called peoples. Right. But people do mention. They don't do intentionally
Yes, yes.
because they do it maybe because they miss doing spell check. Right. So there is so many tools with AI these days. Do spell check, use Grammarly, that kind of tools. Right. Before printing out your CV, put your CV in Grammarly or do uh, we have this interesting word. Uh, there is something called uh, there is something called pre-check, which will scan your CV, you know, and it will find out all minor and
Nowadays, they
major
can even
mistakes.
put it in ChatGPT as well. It will just rectify all
Yeah,
their
it will
mistakes
be
and it will generate a
very,
new
very,
resume
very
out
much.
of the uh,
Yeah, very much,
given resume. Uh,
very much.
So
Always do a proofreading, right? Proofreading
yes,
is nothing but getting it read to through somebody who's very good at language or using a very authenticated tool, like Grammarly or anything, which will proofread your resume. Proofread. That is always advisable before you print your CV or send your CV. So these are five mistakes. Your contact details, email ID, phone number should be correct, good, professional. You should avoid paragraphs. You should use bullet points. You should use proper customization of CV, write keywords which are related to each job. You should maintain the chronology in your CV. And then last but not the least, very important point, proofread your CV to avoid grammar, punctuation mistakes and all. And there are many more, but these are most essential things that anybody should do.
And brother, when it comes to shortlisting the resumes, and most people have messaged me regarding the employment gaps that they had. Due to any of the reasons, some people have absconded from the previous employer, some people might have left the organization because it was not good, some people because of some genuine reasons might have left the previous organizations, and they might have got some gap in between. And many people messaged me, what is the way out? Is there any way out for that? And is the employment gap that we had in our career, is that fatal? Is that going to spoil our career because we are having gap in the employment? Is that a genuinely reason for the rejection?
Very good question. See, employment gap is not at all a hindrance. It is not at all a roadblock for you. Rather, genuinely putting the employment gap in your CV, genuinely expressing that you have a gap in your employment will fetch you better points in an interview rather than faking or hiding it, right? Because one of the most important character or personal attribute which any employer would like is honesty and integrity. Integrity is nothing but putting things as it is, as genuine and honest as possible, right? Employment gaps are common for anyone. They might have a personal emergency, they might have a challenge in their personal life with family, or they might have some shortfall of some skill in their career for which they have taken gap and they have pursued that, right? If you are able to justify for what reason you have taken the gap, there is absolutely no problem in having employment gap.
Oh,
And adding to it, there might be many people who might have got laid off as well, due to which employment gaps happen. Project has gone from the company, so company had to give them the notice and remove them, right? That's absolutely okay. That doesn't mean if you're laid off, that doesn't mean you don't have any other employee in the entire world to hire you. There are many employees, and layoffs might be for n number of reasons. And trust me, guys, even if you are laid off for a performance issue, that's absolutely okay. Every day might not be your day, but there will definitely be one good day which will come where the hidden skill in you will be identified by right employer. There will be an employer for you to. So absolutely no problem about employment gaps, but don't manage it by duplicating or creating fake companies, experience letters and all that. Guys, you will get caught very badly, I'm telling you. Because people are smart. They think that, okay, ఇంత గ్యాప్ వచ్చింది కదా అమ్మో ఏమంటారు నేను కవర్ చేయాలి కదా. They buy certificates or they say their relative is working in some small
if you
organization.
go
They
to
try to pull
Ameripet,
that.
you can find 10 certificates. You can
Very
if
good.
you go to Ameripet, you can.
See, my friend is known for this. Kidding,
I
Chaitanya.
have seen many people going there,
I know,
bargaining
I
with the
know,
people,
I know, I know.
getting
See,
placed
where
into
the
some shell
problem,
companies.
yeah. See, where the problem comes is if you're joining small organizations, that's absolutely okay. Still, you're faking, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you're joining good companies, big companies like Big Fours, we say, Amazon, Deloitte, Uber, Resistat, or any good companies, JP Morgan Chase, Microsoft, Infosys, big anything, IBM, that kind of big companies, or even mid-sized companies. Every company is having background verification team. Please don't forget that. You might fake in your resume, you might get through the interview, you might get an offer letter, but after you join, there'll be a background verification by third party, which will go to all the previous company names which you have mentioned in your CV. And if the company finds that the letters which you have submitted them, those are fake, they will immediately terminate you and blacklist you. And there will also be some consequences where you'll have to pay back to the company, or you'll have to face a legal offense if you're, because you have, just, it's kind of fraud, right? You have just misleaded the company and you have got an opportunity. So repercussions will be huge. Okay, even if some organization doesn't have BGV, for example, background verification, they don't do. When you join that organization, if past organizations where you had a PF account, which is a mandatory statutory norm, where you join this company, when they try to create a PF account for you, because you mentioned that you're a fresher in your resume, but you worked somewhere for 3 months or 6 months or 8 months and you left, you didn't mention because it's short span. You didn't want it to, you had some argument with your boss or you had some stress, you left. You said you're a fresher in your resume. After joining, when they create your PF, if you're a fresher, really, you'll not have any problem because that is the first account you'll get UN number. But if you're an experienced guy, already your UN number will be highlighting when they start creating. They'll question you. It shows already there is a UN number, PF account on your name. You mentioned as you're a fresher. Where is the gap? You'll get caught. So there are a lot of interlinks which you would not know as a candidate. So better avoid. Have gaps, mention in your CV, no worries. Just mention gap on family reasons or personal reasons. You can explain in the interview if it is required, if recruiter asks, or just leave it. Yeah,
Uh, Brother, there is another question that
yeah.
what are the chances of getting a good IT job, a good technical IT job that these people that we are expecting that some 5 digit packages after the age of 30? Is that possible? And I'm asking you this question because the initial screening is done by you people, HRs. If he crosses the age of 30 without any experience, if he just wanted to enter into the field of IT, and if he wants to prove himself, he's technically good. But when it comes to the age, he's somewhat aged when compared to the youngsters. So
Very much. Very good question. Yeah, it happens. Why not? But yeah, one thing is this person will have few challenges because obviously youngsters, somebody these days, some youngsters complete their graduation with 18 years or 19, 20 years, right? Max. Somebody already 10 years is way back to them and he wants to get into IT all of a sudden after 30 years. That's absolutely okay. That is a good thing to do. But if he straightforward aims a job in a very big company, it will be a little challenging. My advice is that kind of people should start aiming for IT jobs in small organizations or firms first, just to have a breakthrough, 1 year, 2 years. Then they can fly high in their career, but they can definitely try. The tip is that for them, see, these days skills are not, static. They're dynamic, right? In
yes,
the
yes.
sense they keep changing, right? Maybe uh, Python was not there in 60s or 50s, right? Python has then developed. Maybe tech has started with something called maybe .NET, then Java has evolved, right? And then PHP has evolved. Then Python has come. And those days, maybe Excel was not that great. It was all typewriting, typewriter. Then gradually Word has come, and then MS Office has boomed up. Now in advanced Excel has come after Excel. Now it is all Power BI, and after Power BI, it is all now maybe AI, artificial
Julius.ai and all.
intelligence.
Yes.
Yes. So if you see the trend, there is a lot of, you know, dynamism in the skills and technology. So data science is booming these days very much. Maybe this guy who has crossed 30 years, along with the core skills of Java, .NET, that kind of certifications, he can do the most booming certifications like data science, AI, and these kind of technologies. He can identify what are the latest technologies, SAP, and he can learn those so that he'll stand out of freshers. Because freshers in curriculum, they'll get limited knowledge. But this guy can take certifications and then he can stand on top of them, right? He
Yes,
can
yes.
use that kind of keywords in his CV. He can mention that kind of certifications in his CV and get, maybe he'll have definitely better chances to.
An edge or others.
Yes.
Uh,
And for these kind of people, it is better not to mention the age in the CV. It's not we are faking. We are just not trying to invent a trouble or challenge to us.
That's
That's
really great tip, brother. That's really a game changer for the people
yeah.
who have crossed 30 years of age. What his suggestion is, better not mention your date of birth or something related to age, so that your first of all your resume will get shortlisted. Then you can bargain with him.
Later.
Then you can
True.
discuss the terms with him.
Because
Brother,
see,
let
in interview, he proves age will not at all
doesn't matter.
not at
Yeah.
all be a matter for employer. It is just a number for him if this person proves.
Yes. Yes. Yes, brother. And let us jump into this. Let us take this discussion from resume making to the interview etiquettes. Brother, what happens is during the technical interview, by quoting some technical formulas or by showing the way how a particular tool works, we can ace it if we have some technical knowledge. But when it comes to the HR interview, it's uh, a difficult thing to crack. It's a difficult nut to crack. This is what I feel, because most of the questions they pose us are quite tricky. So I just wanted to know, what is the right answer for the question, tell me about yourself, and is there any particular way of cracking it? So you are a HR personnel and you are having my resume with me. You're having my resume with you, and even then you are asking, tell me about yourself. What does that mean? Are you asking about my professional qualifications or something, or are you asking about who am I? So what should I assume?
See, it's very 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 good question because any colleges, any institutes, any career counseling sessions, placement orientation teams,
It starts
you
with
know,
it.
like ABCD that you learn when you
So
start your education. This question, they'll train you, it'll be like you're sleeping. And in your dreams also, you'll think about, tell me about yourself. Right?
but the fact is, brother, I have met one of my friends who is also into the HR domain, and he told me, based on this question, they in HR round they shortlisted. So
True.
I don't know what's the trick behind that.
Very good. See, this is so repetitive question, but it is very, 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 very crucial and very important question. Rather, this is the foundation. Suppose you consider your interview as building a home, then this is like foundation question, or this is like foundation for your home. The first thing that you do before starting constructing the construction of your house, right? So maybe if I'll have to summarize it, this question is a tricky question, and this question is asked by any employer to know what is important to you, not to
Oh,
know who you are, right?
yeah, got it, got it.
See, because after screening at least 100 CVs, they call you for the interview, right?
He wants to
And
know
without,
what my perception is.
correct,
Okay.
yeah, they want to know what your perception is and how important this job is for you, right? And what is important for you, rather than who you are. But the question they'll ask is, introduce yourself, tell me about yourself. Can I know few lines about you? Different ways or unique ways. Can you walk me through your resume?
Yes.
Different ways, right? So it's all about English, but it's the same question, right? So remember, The back end of this question is that the employer or the recruiter or the hiring manager, they know well about you before they called you for the interview. They know well about you before you walked in to the interview room. But still, they ask you this basic question, you know, to make you project yourself, you know, in a way that company will hire you. So that is the intention behind asking this question. Okay? Do you really know who you are? Is what they want to assess by asking this question. How well you know yourself is what they want to assess by asking this question. Right. So you can put it very simple rather than telling, I am Laveen and I come from Odisha and I stay in Vizag and then my father is so and so. Everybody starts in the same way when they ask this question. It's absolutely wrong.
Oh,
That's absolutely wrong. Your name, your everything is already there in the CV. Why do you want to repeat again and again the same thing? Keep it short, crisp, clear, to the point. Okay? I am a Lavi. I am a postgraduate with HR and marketing, dual specializations with so and so CGPA. And I'm passionate about HR. That is where I found this job relevant to my skills and my area of study. And that is where I'm here. Major skills that I carry are good. I'm good at communication and I'm good at presentation. And this is the place that I come from. That's it. Keep it as simple as possible. Still, interviewers are listening. Okay. Mhm. That means they want to listen more. Then dive on to your accomplishments. Accomplishments, not skills. Know the difference. I'm good at I'm good at this. I'm good at that. Or I have this. I have that. I've done. No, accomplishments are different from your skills, right? Accomplishments are, suppose you have led a team, for a small project in your MBA or in your BTech time, right? How did you do it? And what was the outcome? In short, 4 lines, 5 lines. So, and also I would like to share one experience that I had during my post graduation or graduation, where we were assigned an important project to fulfill. And we were a group of 5 members, and where I had taken the initiative and I got the opportunity to present my idea. The task was this, and this is how we could do. And I am quite happy with that opportunity that I got. So, see, you're trying to present yourself humble. At the same time, you're telling that you're effective. You have done something, you got something within you, right? That is how your self introduction should be. Rather than speaking about very generalized and normative terms, you shouldn't do that. They are not really interested how much you got in 10th standard. Many people do this mistake. Whenever this question is asked, tell me about yourself, they say, in 10th standard, I secured so much percentage. In intermediate, I passed from that college with so and so percentage. My degree I did from that college, this university with so and so percentage. Those are already there in your CV. Why do you want to speak again about those things? Speak about those things which will impress the interviewer, no? Something which is not there in your CV, if you're able to speak while they ask, tell me about yourself. Trust me, you will be a select sure shot, right? Because you're impressing.
yeah.
But you shouldn't boast. That will kill you again. You shouldn't boast. Hmm. I can do anything. Many people mention in the resume their skills. I am dynamic. That will kill them. That will really kill them. In what way they are dynamic? They should be able to prove, you know. If they say they're dynamic, they should be able to justify what all did they do in their career to become dynamic, right? So, or if you say that, you know, they say, I am excellent in team management. They'll say, give me a scenario where you had a tough team player, and how did you bring out the performance from him?
It's like I can
Now,
achieve
the
anything.
loss. Yeah,
Yeah,
very true.
it's like a blurting.
Yeah. So that's why always keep your self introduction simple, to the point, crisp and clear, and speak about what skills you have which are related to job. Like how I said, you should customize your CV according to the job description. In self introduction, speak more about your relativeness to the job, what skills you have which are related to the job. Say, I believe that I'm good in communication, considering I have given few presentations during my college days. See how simple it is, how effective it is, right? Rather than saying I have exceptional communication skills, that means you're boasting yourself. But when you are explaining them with an example that, okay, you're saying you're believing in yourself that you're good at communication because you have given some presentations in your college days. That that gives a positive impact to the interviewer rather than saying I'm exceptional speaker. No, that is wrong.
Got it, brother.
So,
Got it.
yes, yes,
And while dealing with behavior interview rounds, what I have observed is I myself tremble because when they pose me certain kinds of questions like why this, why not that. In this two kinds of situations, what kind of decision that you are going to make. So how to maintain my presence of mind at that kind of situation, and how to make myself out of that situation, and how to decide. So, on what basis they are going to judge me on the behavioral rounds, and what are the parameters that HRs usually consider when conducting the behavioral rounds? That's what I just wanted to know.
very good question. See, behavioral rounds agenda behind conducting that is to first thing is to test your problem solving skills. Okay. They give you a situation, how you are able to tackle the problem. Even if you're not able to tackle, that's absolutely okay. But your attempts to tackle that problem is very important, which they observe in their behavioral interview, right? There is a problem they have given, or there is a situation they have created in front of you. So they're observing you, right? So, what different ways that you take yourself through that path in answering or in solving that problem is what they observe. They don't want you to be right. They don't, no interviewer expects correct answer in interview, any question. Every interviewer expects attempt by the candidate. If you're able to give a good attempt, a satisfying attempt, then they will take you. That is for sure. So problem solving skills, they try to check. Second thing they try to check is your patience levels. How patient are you in dealing with their problem, right? Suppose they say, um, one typical question I'll give you, all of you. They'll ask a student, I myself ask many times, that I'm telling. Suppose there is there is one job and there are three candidates who are equally competent in all aspects they are equally competent, but you have only one job. You'll only have to hire one person. There is not even 1% change in the skills of all these three candidates. You tell me, whom will you choose among the three, and why will you choose that particular candidate? Why not other two? Okay? This is a kind of typical question they'll ask. Now, while you're trying to say, okay, they might, all three of them might be very good at skills, but I will check their attitude. And maybe somebody might have got a positive attitude. Then immediately they'll say, all three have got positive attitude. Then you'll say, maybe I'll check their salary expectations. Then they'll say, all three have equal salary expectations. Then, so they'll try to check your patience levels, Whatever you say, then say, they'll just try to justify it. Again, they'll ask another question. So they're trying to observe you. They're trying to observe your tackling skills, problem solving skills, your patience levels, right? So best way to handle these kind of questions or situations is to have an open listening first. What are they trying to ask you? Don't rush up. Many candidates make this mistake. They're excited, either out of nervousness or out of excitement. Okay, I know this question. They'll start up. Always, my advice, always take at least 2 seconds minimum, or 10 seconds is even okay. Pause before answering a question. Whether you know the answer, you don't know the answer. Please think twice. Please take a pause, relax yourself, know the intention why the employer has asked this question, and then go ahead answering. First tip, take pause, start answering. Second tip, have active and focused listening. Third tip, don't get carried away by questions. If you get carried away, you'll fail in behavioral interviews. For example, they are offering a job. Okay. It is a fresher's job. And nowadays, any company for a postgraduate will easily pay 15 to 20,000 minimum, not less than that. But they say you're a fresher. They say that, do you mind joining us if we don't pay you salary? Simple. See, no company want to employ you without salary. They're just trying to see whether you're a guy who is joining the company for money, or you're a guy who is willing to join the company for your self-learning at the same time to contribute to the company. So they are indirectly trying to check your intent and attitude for applying this job, for this job. They are not trying to hear from you about your salary expectations. They are not asking you what are your salary expectations. They're indirectly trying to put you in a situation, right? And judge you with your answer. Many people make a mistake. Either they stay calm, they don't answer, or they put their head down, or they hesitate, or they give a smile, or they say, no, sir, bluntly. Don't do that. Right? Tell them openly, sir, my intention of attending this interview or seeking this opportunity is to contribute to the company, and to also upgrade my skills, and also to put forward my learnings which I have learned. So I don't mind, and I'm not focused on salary. My focus is more on learning and growth. Put it in a smart way like this, right? So always avoid getting carried away by questions. So these three tips, Chaitanya, would really help crack the behavioral interview. And never lose your calmness and composedness, and always have a smile on your face throughout the interview. Throughout the interview. If you become dull, if you sound sober while you're answering, people will think that you are not enthusiastic. People will think that you're not a team player. You cannot gel well with team. People will think that you are not confident. Though you're confident within you, but you don't show it on your face with a smile. You keep yourself very low energy. You keep yourself very low. It doesn't work. You might be humble. You might be very good. You might be a spiritual person. True. That is very good in life. But you are attending an interview. And interview is only once in a lifetime opportunity. Can you attend Google interviews today and tomorrow? Oh, today I got rejected. Tomorrow I'll attend. No. Remember, guys, Google interviews or any big company's interviews, there is a stipulated time. Once you get rejected, you can only apply after 1 year. There are companies who will allow you to attend an interview after 12 long months. So that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes interview is lifetime interview for you. So maintain energy, have enthusiasm, have that smile, raise your volume. You can be low in temple, that is a meditation center, but you cannot have that low voice in an interview. Like how you're customizing your CV, you customize your tone, you customize your personality, you customize your words, you customize your appearance, right? That will impress the interviewer. So this is
Uh,
also very important tip.
Brother, when it comes to the behavioral attributes of a person, even in technical interviews, few people get rejected not because they lack knowledge, because somewhere, somewhat, the person, whether the hiring manager or the director of the company or whether the HR feels this person is not apt for the company. So, what are the few mistakes that candidate do that will make a negative impression on the candidate? Like, what are the top three mistakes usually done
While
by the candidates? They'll get plucked off.
uh, see, one mistake they do is um, they go unprepared for the interview first thing. Okay. Uh, they mention project, for example, for freshers, where 90% they get caught here. They mention about a project. Okay? In my recent example, which I was talking while we were interviewing, somebody has mentioned they have done a project on training and development in steel plant, Vizag steel plant. Okay. Then I asked him, what are your findings? Very simple question. Right? Now, this guy says, he has said that shift timings for employees is a problem. Just think, all of you, question which I asked, what are your findings in your project?
Yes, yes,
He has done that project for 3 months. Simple thing. Okay. He could have told me, sir, these are the kind of trainings which steel plant
yes.
provides to its employees. Or, sir, they release a training calendar at the beginning of the year or mid of the year where what all trainings are planned for the employees are mentioned. Or, very simple, sir, these many hours or these many trainings, 10 trainings or 15 trainings or 5 trainings in a year are planned for the employees. This is a finding only, no? He is giving me the number. He didn't tell any of this. He told, sir, shift timings are a problem, sir, for employees there. I didn't ask you what problems employees have in steel plant. Your project is not that you have studied the problems or challenges of employees there. You have mentioned training and development in steel plant. So I'm asking a question related to your project, but he is not able to answer. So when he's mentioning something in his CV, first of all, he is not prepared. He has purchased that project. Okay, even if you purchase that project, that's absolutely okay. But you prepare, no? There is a lot of information in Google. You don't need to go personally and do a project in a company. If you just type training and development in steel plant in Google, also you'll get a lot of information about that particular title, right? Be prepared. At least what is there on your CV, you be prepared. That is one major blunder which many people do. They don't prepare what they write in their CV and they go unprepared for the interview.
Absolutely fantastic, brother. This is what even I have done many times, and I have got caught because of
Yeah.
this only. I go unprepared for the interview. They ask me something, I tell them something. I feel that I have performed well, but still not getting selected. So this is the
Oh,
reason. This may be the reason.
yeah, because see, and there is a major apprehension in the minds of the candidates, especially people who are good at communication, or especially people who have very good, as you mentioned, that they might be very good at technical skills, but they
Yes.
still fail in the interview. They might have all 90s, 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 90s. That doesn't matter. That particular moment, what employer is asking, if you are able to satisfy him, then you're there. Or your 90s will not work out. Your excellent communication skills also will not work out. They'll be in apprehension that, okay, I have very good communication. So any question asked, I can answer. Interviewer will be really impressed with my communication. They even try to use US slang and put, like more of sandwiches and then try to
Putting
manage.
some
It
chocolate
doesn't work out.
within their mouth, and they can try imitating
Will not
different
work out.
slangs.
Will not work out. Right, so
Yes,
be
yes.
prepared whenever you're going for an interview. That is one very important tip. And don't go for interview with too much of information in your head. That will make you go hayway. You know, prepare only to extend what is needed.
That
First
means
thing,
what is
domain.
there in CV, what we have
Yeah,
mentioned it in CV.
yes, that is one area. What is there in your CV, word to word, you should know the meaning of it. If you don't know, remove it. And what you have mentioned in your projects, what you have mentioned in your skills, most importantly, has to be justified with examples. You say you're a very good, you have very, you say you're a very, you have leadership skills. Many people mention this in your CV. They'll ask you, give me an example where you proved that you're a good leader. You should instantly be able to connect to a situation where you have led a team, either in sports, in your school, or in your college, and explain that. If you take pause or if you think, then employer will by himself mark a notion on you within his mind that this guy has faked his CV by putting leadership skills, but he doesn't have leadership skills. Right?
Brother, I have another question. Like
Yeah.
many people have asked me, they have come from humble Telugu medium background and they have studied in government schools and government colleges. And most of them don't know the basic spoken English because they got graduated from basic local government arts colleges and something. And they are very well equipped technically. But because of this English speaking skills, is there any chance that they get rejected? It's my doubt. Does English play a role of in our selection?
Very good question. English plays almost 60 to 70% of your chances in getting selected in an interview. Definitely, it plays a key role, but not 100%.
Got it.
60 to 70%. Yeah. So, why? Suppose you're attending a sales job in maybe Geo or Airtel or any local job where you're attending a sales interview. You don't really need excellent communication skills for that. You might be a Telugu medium guy, but you can definitely crack the interview speaking in your own local language because for them, your persuasion skills, your convincing skills are more
Yes.
important than your language
Yeah,
and
negotiation skills matters there.
negotiation skills. Many people have this misconception that కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్ అంటే నేను ఇంగ్లీష్ లో ఎక్సలెంట్ గా మాట్లాడాలి. అది గుడ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్ అనుకుంటారు. బట్
Is it not
కమ్యూనికేషన్
so?
స్కిల్స్ నో,
Oh,
నాట్
I
ఎట్
do.
ఆల్.
I do feel the same thing.
No, people who cannot speak, you know, uh, ఎవరికైతే మాటలు రావు, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ దట్ వర్డ్. తెలుగులో ఏమంటారో మనకి మాటలు రావు కదా. డెఫ్ డమ్ ఇలా కాల్ దట్ నో
Yeah,
సంబడి కెనాట్ స్పీక్.
especially abled people.
సో యా, స్పెషల్లీ ఏబుల్డ్ పీపుల్ వెన్ దే కెనాట్ స్పీక్, వాళ్ళకి పుట్టుకతోనే మాట లేదు అంటే వాళ్ళ కమ్యూనికేషన్ రాదా?
No, no, we
దే
can say that.
కమ్యూనికేట్,
Yeah. They
దే
can
కమ్యూనికేట్
communicate.
విత్,
Yeah,
దే
yeah.
కెన్ కమ్యూనికేట్ బాడీ
Even they
లాంగ్వేజ్.
are very good at communication. They show some
దే వెరీ
signs
గుడ్.
and they communicate it.
Yes, దే వెరీ ఫాస్ట్ రాదర్.
Yes, yes,
When we speak, we think. They don't think. They communicate faster than us.
yes, yes. I can relate that.
Traffic, traffic signals. Does traffic signal speak? Color speaks, right?
Yes, yes.
Signal speaks. Green, go. Red, stop. Orange, slow down. That is communication, right? How effectively you're making the other person understand what you're trying to tell him or her is called communication.
Absolutely
Communication is not
brilliant, brother.
language. Communication is
Absolutely
not at
brilliant.
all language. And people who are from Telugu medium feel proud that you have studied in the medium of your mother tongue. Never ever feel sad. Never ever feel scared or nervous while going for interview. Express yourself in whatever language you know. People, interviewer will be impressed with your confidence skills, not by just your English or communication skills. Interviewer will get convinced or he'll get impressed with your confidence levels in the interview, not just with your communication skills. If you want to sell a product, interviewer wants to see how well you're able to convince him, because most often in sales interviewers, you might have observed the interviewer will ask, suppose I am a customer, you become a salesman now, take this watch and you sell this watch to me. Right? This is the
Yes,
scenario.
yes,
He
yes.
will not observe whether you are able to speak in communication in English or not. If you have a problem in English, immediately request in a humble way to the interviewer, sir, నేను తెలుగులో అమ్మొచ్చా ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్ మీకు ఇబ్బంది లేకపోతే humbly. He'll immediately say yes. Okay, go ahead. That is the trick. If you want, if you feel that you're not good at communication, change the language. Until and unless you are attending an interview of US sales, MNC sales, you don't need to worry about language. For those sales, yeah, you need communication. I'm not saying that. But for these sales, you don't. For every sale, you don't need. No. Even with 10 standard, you can crack interviews.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. And this is actually the question of the day. Uh, కోటి విద్యలు కూటి కొరకే అన్నట్టు our entire discussion, our entire thing, our entire hard work that we put into resume making and interviews and all this thing is just to earn some bucks. So what is the right time to bring salary into this discussion?
Very good question. Very good question. Because everything revolves around this, no?
Yeah, everything because of that only we are attending.
Yeah,
So
somebody
that,
was asking in the chat also, because we
oh,
have Q&A session towards end. I have
yeah,
seen, but
yeah.
I didn't interrupt.
Brothers, we are so sorry. We are unaware of the time because the discussion was so interacting and it was so healthy. It is good. It is so rare to find a person like him who opens his heart and speak. So if you don't mind, can you please wait for 15 more minutes so that we can finish and get into the Q&A session? Yeah, brother.
Great, wonderful. Thank you for those responses. Those are motivating me and Chaitanya a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Tremendous patience for all the attendees here, right? Speaking is easy, explaining is easy, listening is very difficult. Thanks for bearing me. Uh, answering to your question, two scenarios. One, are you a fresher? Second, are you an experienced person? If you're an experienced person, you have to tackle with this in a different way. If you're a fresher, you have to tackle with this in a different. If you are a fresher, please don't have anything in your mind on the salary part while you're attending an interview. Until and unless you get campus interviews, you have plenty of jobs, you have plenty of interviews to attend, you're way confident about your skills. Until and unless you're so good, please stay away from salary expectations for freshers, right? Now, how to put this for freshers when I speak about this scenario? First of all, you don't touch this question at all if you're a fresher. Because see, understand one thing, 90% of the companies, they fix the salary for freshers, they prefix the salaries for freshers because they don't want differentiation within the team members, within their employees in an organization to create problem for themselves. So it's already prefixed, right? So you don't need to worry about that. So whether you ask more, you quote less, they'll pay you what you have to get and what you deserve. Suppose a job, they have prefixed that 5 lakh is the starting salary or 2 lakh is the starting salary. They'll not pay even 2 lakh 1 rupee. They'll not pay even, uh, you know, uh, 1
1
lakh
lakh 91.
99,000 and triple nine. No, they'll not pay that. They will pay 2 lakh. But they'll just try to test you what you will answer. That's why they'll ask, how much salary are you expecting? What are your salary expectations? will you work for so much? Or like example I quoted, will you work without salary? All these things. No? You don't need to always be so humble and say that, okay, sir, you don't pay salary, I'll work. No, you also have some self-esteem. You also have some importance and weightage for you. But they intentionally ask to check your response, right? So be smart enough in answering, like I told earlier, sir, this being my first job and first opportunity. Getting an opportunity to attend an interview is a big thing. So if I get an opportunity to work in your organization, that is the biggest achievement that I'd be happy about. That is the biggest expectation that I have in my mind. And I do not have any salary expectations in my mind, sir. Whatever you pay as per the company norms, I am very much good to go with it. As simple as that. Or you can't explain so much. Simple. Sir, as per the company norms, whatever is paid, I'm happy with it. Simple. Or, sir, I do not have any specific salary expectations. For me, learning and this opportunity is more important than the salary. Be diplomatic. Now, case of experienced person. Always try to hear from the employer first before you blurt out certain figure which is there in your mind. Employer asks you, what is the salary that you're expecting for an experienced person? He can't say that opportunity is important, this is important, no salary expectations. Then you'll get fired. He'll immediately ask, I'll pay you 1 lakh per year. Will you join me? Way less than what you're drawing. So don't give that option if you're an experienced person. You written in ask in a humble way. Sir, may I know the budget for this role? Ask in this way. Sir, may I know what is the salary range for this particular position? No? First, ask the employer if he asks you what are your salary expectations. Sir, immediately ask, sir, if you don't mind, may I know what is the salary range or what is the salary bracket for this particular position? If I may know, ask him this way. Right? He says, that's okay. You tell your expectations. If he says, then whatever you're earning now, then you put it in a way that, sir, anything around 20 or 30% on my current salary. Be mindful if this is sufficient for you, right? Suppose you're drawing 3 lakhs, you have 3 years experience, it's way less that you're drawing. That point in time, be very clear. Sir, I'm looking for at least 30 to 40% hike. But if you're already on a very high salary, you're drawing 10 lakhs for just 3 years because the previous company or the current company you're working is way, way high paying company. But now the interview you're attending might not be as good as Google. Then be smart to answer. Sir, maybe 30 to 40% hike would suffice. Or maybe, sir, 10 to 30% hike would suffice. Don't go with exact figure. See, you're telling percentage. You're not telling the exact figure. Right? So always try to put your answer diplomatic. Right? And know if you feel that your candidature, your experience already is getting you n number of opportunities, it's a rare skill that you're carrying in the market, then be very much vocal about putting your expectations. Sir, I'm expecting at least 10 lakhs. I'm expecting at least this much, or I'm expecting at least 50% hike because I have my salary increment in this company in another 2 months. But if you're putting high expectations, have a reason to justify it. See, suppose I am drawing 10 lakhs and the recruiter asks me, what are your salary expectations? I'll tell, I'm expecting 30 lakhs. Completely unrealistic. No, where is 10 lakhs? Where is 30 lakhs? It is 200% hike that I'm asking. Correct? So I should be able to justify. I can say, sir, I'm expecting around 18 lakhs. That is also a little high because 10 lakhs, uh, maybe 10% is 1 lakh. So 18 lakhs is like I'm asking 80% hike, right? So I should be able to justify, sir, because Vizag is a small place as I have to relocate to Delhi and I have my family to shift. And here I'm staying in my own house. and I have to take a rented accommodation there. So that is, and I have my salary increment due very soon in another 2, 3 months. So considering all these aspects, I would be more than happy if the package is somewhere around 18 lakhs. I'm not saying minimum is 18 lakh. I'd be happy if it is somewhere around. See your words, what all you're using. That will impress the interviewer.
Yeah,
Or the
diplomacy
interviewer
plays.
will, yeah, he'll think that this guy is very choosy. He's only coming for salary. He's not coming for work. Now I'll give him 18 lakhs. He's demanding 18 lakhs. If I don't give him 18 lakhs, he'll join somewhere else after joining me. He'll join me for 16 lakhs if I negotiate with him. After 6 months, he'll get 20 lakh package. He'll switch jobs. That is how employer will think.
Brother, here most people are asking, like, suppose we are expecting some decent hike on our previous pay scale. Um, the opposite person, the HR won't be telling. Suppose if HR doesn't tell us what his budget is, and he asks our expectation. So can we bluntly say what our expectation is, if it is genuine expectation, like what you have quoted before?
Very much.
Is there
Very
is there any risk associated with it?
not much, but you shouldn't quote unrealistic.
Got it.
See,
Got it.
yeah,
What
a
is the
Python
reasonable?
developer,
What is the reasonable level of percentage that we can expect if we are very good at technical skills? We are having the required technical experience also.
if you're in software, you can easily expect at least uh, 50 plus percentage of hike. You
Fantastic.
can quote. I'm expecting around 50 to 60% hike easily. You can quote. If you're in non-software jobs, if you're in administration related jobs, don't quote that high salary. You'll not get it. You
Got
quote
it.
maybe 20 to 30% hike.
First. Got it.
Right. So industry to industry it differs. But if you ask me for an experienced person, what is the standard height that somebody should quote if he deserves that? Minimum 30% you quote. Anything above that, company's bandwidth. But
Yeah.
don't go for less than 30% hike. It doesn't fetch you anything. You can get the same being in your own company. If
Yes.
you're switching jobs for 10%, 5% hike, wrong decision.
Yes. Yes. Uh, that's it, brother, from my end. And there are few questions asked. I got it from Google Forms. I'll just So there is one person, and she is asking me, like, what are the opportunities for freshers in HR domain? So is HR a good way to choose as a career? Is HR a good career path? This is what her question is.
Good question. HR is definitely a good choice for career paths, but when you're a fresher, jobs are very, very, very limited, very scarce in the market. Remember, 100 or 300 employees will have one HR. That is the ratio, right? If you compare with marketing or finance or tech jobs, HR jobs are very much limited, right? That is point number one. But if you're still passionate about becoming an HR, you still want to pursue, you still want to grow as an HR, definitely you can opt for it. It's not a wrong thing. But whenever you're completing your post graduation and you are willing to opt for a job, HR job as a fresher, you have to start with recruitment. You cannot directly become a HR manager. You should start, even if it is a small consulting firm, go ahead, take it. Don't expect any salary being a fresher, especially when you're applying for a HR job. Even they pay you 5,000, that's absolutely okay. Go first gain experience. Then you start growing, changing the jobs, this is the salary and your skills and all that. But definitely it's a good option. So,
I have seen myself, I have seen many people who are into the domain of HR. They are earning, they are drawing somewhere around 40 to 60 lakhs per annum. So they are working as a CHROs. and senior HR heads of the different organizations. And to that particular person who have asked that question, whether HR is a good domain or not. In MNCs and multinational companies, if you go further into the domain of HR, you can earn in lakhs. That's a different gameplay. That's
Yeah,
a
but I
strategic part.
very true. But if I can give one tip here, Chaitanya, for MBA freshers, if I can I?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yes. So any person who is pursuing MBA HR with HR specialization or marketing specialization or finance specialization, my request, please try to learn SAP course simultaneously while you're pursuing your MBA if you have time virtually. Even if you don't have time, in case you're not getting a direct fresher HR job, but your parents are financially strong, you don't need an immediate job, you can afford another 6 months. Please go to big cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, or at least enroll for a online certification course and do SAP. Okay, if you are not able to do that, at least do certifications in HR. What they teach you in your college, how good the university might be, and what you will practically get to learn and perform in job in organizations is completely different. So either take certifications in HR, you have lot of online certifications, 15 days, 1 month, 45 days, 6 months, like talent acquisition or statutory benefits, compensation and benefits, these kind of HR related topics. Take online certifications. This will really help you to secure a HR job faster than other MBA graduates.
Fantastic, brother Vishwan. Now, brother Vishwan, with your permission, shall we start the Q&A session?
Yes, yes, please. I'm excited, waiting.
So the participants who are interested can raise your hands. So one by one, I'll just quote your name so that you can unmute yourself and you can shoot your questions to brother Vishwant. I'm giving you the microphone access. So if you wanted to ask anything, if you wanted to pose your doubts, you can ask so. So you can raise your hands.
Friends, there is no wrong question. Silly question is also okay. What is my name also? I'm ready to tell again if you want.
Hari, yeah, Hari Prasad, you can unmute yourself. But don't ask what is his name. His name is Lavin.
సాయిరామ్
Sairam, Sairam.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక జాబ్ కి డిగ్రీ అనేది కంపల్సరీనండి.
మంచి క్వశ్చన్. ఇవాళ రేపు రోజుల్లో 90% జాబ్స్ కి గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ మ్యాండేటరీ అండి. డిగ్రీ చాలా మ్యాండేటరీ అది. ఇన్ కేస్ మీరు ఫుల్ టైం చేయలేకపోయినా డిస్టెన్స్ మోడ్ లేకపోతే ఇగ్నో అలాంటివి కొంచెం ఆప్ట్ చేసుకొని గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ మట్టుగా మ్యాండేటరీ అని పెట్టుకోండి. అంటే మీరు టెక్నికల్ జాబ్స్ కి వెళ్తే తప్పితే, అంటే టెక్నికల్ జాబ్స్ అంటే హాస్పిటాలిటీ సెక్షన్ లో అంటారు, ఎలక్ట్రీషియన్ గాని, ప్లంబింగ్ గాని, ఫిట్టర్ గాని, లేకపోతే మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ ఇలాంటి కంపెనీస్ లో ఇలాంటి జాబ్స్ కి అసలు గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ తో పని లేదు. ఆ జాబ్స్ కి తప్పితే ఇంకే జాబ్స్ కి మీరు అప్లై చేద్దాం అనుకున్నా, ఈవెన్ సేల్స్ జాబ్స్ కి అప్లై చేద్దాం అనుకున్నా ఇవాళ రేపు ఏంటంటే కొంచెం డిగ్రీ మ్యాండేటరీ అంటున్నారు సార్. సో ట్రై టు డూ ఇట్. అది మట్టుగా ఎసెన్షియల్ అంటే చాలా
సార్
మంచిది.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు నా విషయానికే వస్తే డిగ్రీ బీటెక్ చేశానండి నేను.
సార్
కానీ నా అకాడమిక్స్ బాగాలేదు. స్టిల్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఫ్యూ బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ అండి. సో నేను ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ ఏం తీసుకున్నా అంటే సరే ఈ బీటెక్ అవ్వదు అని మీరు అన్నట్లే నేను ఒక డిస్టెన్స్ డిగ్రీ పర్సూ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. ఆంధ్ర యూనివర్సిటీలోనే బిఎస్సి ఎంపీసీ తీసుకున్నాను. అదైతే అవుతుంది. కానీ ఈ ఈ బీటెక్ కి ఇప్పుడు తీసుకుంటున్న డిగ్రీకి గ్యాప్ ఉందండి. తర్వాత అంటే జాబ్స్ కి నాకేమైనా హోప్ ఉండొచ్చా? నేను ఆ, నేనేమైనా స్కిల్ నేర్చుకుంటే ఇట్లా ఇప్పుడు మన నేర్పుతున్నారు డేటా అనలిటిక్స్ అవి, అట్లాంటి స్కిల్స్ వల్ల నేను మాస్టర్ అయ్యి అందులో బాగా నేర్చుకొని తర్వాత నేను అప్లై చేసుకుంటాను. ఈ ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ డిగ్రీ బేసిస్ మీద నేనేమో క్రాక్ చేయగలను హోప్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చా?
డెఫినెట్లీ, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ మంచి క్వశ్చన్ అడిగారు. తప్పకుండా చేయొచ్చు. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్, మీరు ఓపెన్ ఫోరం లో ఇంత మంచి క్వశ్చన్ మీ బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ గురించి హెసిటేట్ అవ్వకుండా అడిగారు. దానికి మీకు కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్.
అండ్ అందులో 5% కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ మీకు మీ కెరీర్ మీద ఉంటే యూ కెన్ రాక్ ఇట్.
సో మనం ఈ స్కిల్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి అందరికి. మన ఒరిజినాలిటీ చేంజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఓపెన్ గా మనం ఎలా ఉన్నాం అలా మనల్ని మనం ప్రెజెంట్ చేసుకోవడం అన్నది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ స్కిల్. ఐ కంగ్రాచులేట్ హరిప్రసాద్ గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ బీయింగ్ ఓపెన్ అండ్ ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ అబౌట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. సో ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదండి. బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్. లాస్ట్ బెంచర్సే ఇవాళ రేపు కంపెనీ పెట్టి సిఇఓస్ గా వర్క్ చేస్తున్న సినారియోస్ ఇండియాలో చాలా ఉన్నాయి. సో సో బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ వల్ల ఇబ్బంది లేదు. బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ వల్ల ఇబ్బంది ఒక్క దగ్గరే అవుతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు ఫ్రెషర్ గా అయినా కాలేజ్ లో క్యాంపస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అటెండ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు బహుశా 90-80% లేదా అన్ని పాస్ అయిన వాళ్ళు పైకి ఉంటాయి ప్రొఫైల్స్, మీద ఒక స్టెప్ కిందకు ఉండొచ్చు. బట్ మీరు రిలీవ్ అయిపోయాక అసలు బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ తో పని లేదు. అబ్సల్యూట్ గా మీరు డిస్టెన్స్ మోడ్ మీద కూడా వెళ్తున్నారు. మంచి డెసిషన్. బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ వీలుంటే క్లియర్ చేసుకోండి. లేదు సార్ అది అవ్వదు అన్నా దట్స్ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ ఓకే. మీ గ్యాప్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ గ్యాప్ ని పాజిటివ్ వేలో ఎలా జస్టిఫై చేసుకోగలరో అది కొంచెం చూడండి. అంటే బహుశా నాకు కొంత ఫ్యామిలీ రీజన్, హెల్త్ ఇష్యూ వల్ల సంథింగ్ పాజిటివ్ వీక్నెస్ ఏదైనా చెప్పి అది ఇంటర్వ్యూలో మేనేజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. డిస్టెన్స్ మోడ్ ఉంటది కాబట్టి ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ వల్ల ఏ ఇబ్బంది లేదు, ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు. ఇవాళ రేపు స్కిల్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి. బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ వల్ల పెద్ద ఇష్యూ లేదు. బట్ మీరు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కానీ దేనికైనా అప్లై చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇంటర్వ్యూలోనైనా అట్లీస్ట్ బ్యాక్లాగ్స్ ఉన్నాయని ఓపెన్ గా ముందే చెప్పేయండి. ఓకే, సో దే లైక్ యువర్ జెన్యునిటీ. మీరు రిజెక్ట్ అయినా పర్లేదు, బట్ అది దాయొద్దు. చాలా మంది దాచి మిస్టేక్ చేస్తారు. తర్వాత జాయిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఆన్ బోర్డింగ్ అప్పుడు మార్క్ షీట్ సబ్మిట్ చేసేటప్పుడు అది వాళ్ళకి చాలా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. విల్ బి సెంట్ బ్యాక్.
అవును సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Brother Nagasai, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi Sam.
Sairam, hi.
Hello.
చెప్పండి నాగసాయి, చెప్పండి.
డోంట్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆన్ వే. నేను అడుగుతున్న క్వశ్చన్ తప్పుగా అనుకోకండి. యాక్చువల్లీ ఒక టాలెంట్ ఎక్విజిషన్ కానీ, ఒక హెచ్ఆర్ కానీ, ఒక జూనియర్ కానీ, ఎవరైనా కానీ విత్ మేనేజర్తో ఎంతవరకు రిలేషన్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేసుకో. ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ ఈస్ చాలా, ఇప్పుడు స్టార్టింగ్ కెరియర్ స్టార్ట్ చేసేది ఇది చాలా హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది. ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో నేను అడుగుతాను, హౌ టు మెయింటైన్ ఎ రిలేషన్షిప్ విత్ మేనేజర్.
Very good question.
Fantastic question, brother.
Fantastic question, actually.
I keep this noted. Actually, I missed this question.
Thank you, Nagasai garu. Wonderful question. See, with manager, it is very much needed that you maintain a relationship as good as you maintain a relationship with your brother at your home. అంత మంచి రిలేషన్షిప్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడం చాలా అవసరం. ఎందుకంటే కంపెనీ ఎంత పెద్దదై ఉండొచ్చు, రైట్? కంపెనీ మైట్ బి ఎక్స్ట్రా ఆర్డినరీ, చాలా మంచి కల్చర్ ఉండొచ్చు. బట్ మీరు 80% ఆఫ్ యువర్ టైం రోజు మీరు చూసేది మీ మేనేజర్ ముఖం. ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ మీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అసెస్ చేసేది మీ మేనేజర్. మీకు ఇంక్రిమెంట్స్, ప్రమోషన్స్ ప్రపోజ్ చేసేది మీ మేనేజర్. మీ మేనేజర్ తో తేడా వస్తే మట్టుగా కొంచెం హెచ్ఆర్ కూడా ఏం చేయలేడు అట్ టైమ్స్. సో యూ షుడ్ మెయింటైన్ గుడ్ రిలేషన్, బట్ ఇట్ షుడెంట్ బి లైక్ యూ షుడ్ బి ఎ స్లేవ్ టు యువర్ మేనేజర్. మీరు స్లేవ్ అవ్వకూడదు. అంటే ఇంకా ఆయనకి పర్సనల్ గా క్లోజ్ అయితే అంత అవసరం ఉండదు. మీ వెయిటేజ్ మీకు ఉంటది కాబట్టి. బట్ రిలేషన్షిప్ మంచిగా మెయింటైన్ చేసుకోవాలి. అంటే ఎలా? హంబల్ గా ఉండాలి ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్. మీ మేనేజర్ దగ్గర ఏ టాస్క్స్ చెప్పినా క్యాన్ డూ యాటిట్యూడ్. ఓకే సార్, ష్యూర్ సార్, ఐ ట్రై మై బెస్ట్, ఐ గివ్ మై బెస్ట్. ఇప్పుడు ఆ పాజిటివ్ అప్రోచ్ మీ మేనేజర్ తో మెయింటైన్ చేసుకోండి. హార్డ్ వర్కింగ్ నేచర్ మీలో కనిపించాలి మీ మేనేజర్ కి. అండ్ మీ మేనేజర్ దగ్గర ఏం దాయొద్దు. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. మీరు మిస్టేక్స్ చేయండి. మీరు
ఓకే.
మిస్టేక్ చేస్తే వెంటనే మీ మేనేజర్ తో మాట్లాడండి. మీ మేనేజర్ కి అప్డేట్ చేయండి. అలా మీరు చేస్తే మీకు ఏ ఇబ్బంది ఉండదు. యుల్ గ్రో వెరీ ఫాస్ట్. యుల్ హ్యావ్ వెరీ గుడ్ పాజిటివ్ ఇంప్రెషన్ ఇన్ ద మైండ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ మేనేజర్.
ఓకే. ఓకే. ఓకే.
యా,
ఓకే సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. యా.
Brother
థ్యాంక్
Sai
యూ.
Vikas, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సాయి వికాస్.
Sir, we can ask any queries after completing our interview.
Yes, very good question. You should ask. You should ask. They will definitely ask in many interviews. Do you have any questions for us? Definitely ask. Ask about the company more. You can put it like this, sir. I have gone through the company website. However, I wanted to know a little more about the organization. One question you can ask. Or, sir, may I know what is the focus of the organization in the next 2 years? Or may I know where is the company heading to in next 5 years? Or, sir, may I know a little about the culture of this organization? So these kind of questions you can definitely ask. Or, sir, may I know in what all areas would I be able to contribute to this particular role? ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ మీరు ఎన్నైనా అడగొచ్చు. గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్స్, ప్రొఫెషనల్ క్వశ్చన్స్. ఇలా ఎప్పుడు అడగండి సార్ వాట్ ఈస్ మై సాలరీ, వద్దు. అలాంటివన్నీ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో పెట్టొద్దు. తర్వాత ఎనీవేస్ దే విల్ టెల్ యూ యువర్ సాలరీ, లేదంటే హెచ్ఆర్ డిస్కషన్ లో తప్పకుండా అది వస్తుంది కాబట్టి. ఆర్ ఇలా అడగొద్దు, సార్ విల్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్ట్రెస్ ఇన్ దిస్ జాబ్. చాలా మంది అడుగుతారు, వీడు జాయిన్ అవ్వకముందే స్ట్రెస్ ఉందా అని అడుగుతున్నాడు, జాయిన్ అవ్వాక ఇంకో 2 రోజుల్లో వెళ్ళిపోతాడని అస్సలు హైర్ చేయరు. సెలెక్ట్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు రిజెక్ట్ చేస్తారు మళ్ళీ ఆ క్వశ్చన్ వల్ల. సో డోంట్ ఆస్క్. ఇంకోటి అడుగుతారు చాలా మంది, సార్ హౌ మెనీ హాలిడేస్ విల్ వి హ్యావ్ ఇన్ ఏ వీక్ అంటారు. అంటే నువ్వు జాయిన్ అవ్వకముందే నీకు హాలిడేస్ మీద ఫోకస్ వెళ్ళిపోతే నువ్వు కంపెనీకి ఒక ఎక్స్ట్రా టైం వర్క్ చేయాలంటే నువ్వెందుకు చేస్తావు, చేయవని రిజెక్ట్ చేస్తావు. సో నాకు హాలిడేస్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి అలాంటివన్నీ ఫస్ట్ యాజ్ ఎ ఫ్రెషర్స్ యూఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ వర్క్. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ మైండ్ఫుల్ అబౌట్ యువర్ వీక్ ఆఫ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్, నో ఇట్ విల్ రిజెక్ట్ యూ. అవి ఎప్పుడు అడగొద్దు అలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్. బట్ పాజిటివ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగండి.
Sir, again, while conducting our interviews, each and person will carry different times, but sometimes it only completed within 5 minutes. But some people are selected, and some people are given more than 1 hour interview after completed. They are rejecting. But what's the reasons, sir? And how could we think about it? Because of time comparisons or our communication skills, we can decide.
గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్, గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్. సి ఇంటర్వ్యూ 2 minutes లో అయిపోయింది అంటే 90% ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్ ఈజ్ రిజెక్ట్, ష్యూర్ షాట్. ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్రొలాంగ్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఆ క్యాండిడేట్ ఇంటర్వ్యూయర్స్ కి నచ్చాడు, కొంత స్టఫ్ ఉంది, సెలెక్ట్ అవ్వాడు అని చెప్పలేం. కొంత స్టఫ్ ఉంది, బెటర్ దెన్ ప్రీవియస్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఆర్ బెటర్ దెన్ క్యాండిడేట్స్ హూస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ డన్ విద్ ఇన్ మినిట్స్, రైట్? సో ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్రొలాంగ్ అవుతుంది అంటే దట్ డజంట్ మీన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూయర్స్ ఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు స్క్వీజ్ యూ ఆర్ దే ఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు హెరాస్ యూ ఇన్ ద రూమ్. రాదర్ దే ఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు, దే ఆర్ లైకింగ్ యూ మోర్. దట్ ఈస్ వైర్ దే ఆర్ మోర్ క్యూరియస్ టు నో మోర్ అబౌట్ యూ. సో అది పాజిటివ్ సైన్. ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఎక్కువ టైం అవుతుందంటే దట్ ఈస్ ఎ గుడ్ థింగ్ యాక్చువల్లీ. ఆర్ ఇది 10% ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయిలేండి. అట్ టైమ్స్ ఏమవుతుందంటే క్యాండిడేట్ కి బేసిక్ జాబ్, జనరిక్ జాబ్ అనుకోండి, లేకపోతే ఎక్కువ 100 పొజిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, క్యాండిడేట్స్ ఎక్కువ మంది ఉన్నారు, టైం చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది. అలాంటప్పుడు ఇంటెన్షనల్ గా ఇంటర్వ్యూయర్స్ ఫాస్ట్ గా ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అన్ని కంప్లీట్ చేసేస్తారు. అలాంటప్పుడు తక్కువ టైంలో ఇంటర్వ్యూ అయిపోయినా మీరు సెలెక్ట్ అయినట్టే. అంటే మీరు వెళ్ళగానే మీ బేసిక్ ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ తోనే వాళ్ళకి క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, దే నో దట్ ఓకే మనకు కావాల్సింది గుడ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్. వీడు ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడే మనకు అర్థం అయిపోయింది వీడి స్కిల్స్ చాలా బాగున్నాయి అని. ఇంకెందుకు వాళ్ళు టైం వేస్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, బయట చాలా మంది వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నారు, వెంటనే పంపించేస్తారు. అలాంటి సినారియోస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. మరి అది సినారియో టు సినారియో డిఫర్స్. Hope I could
So,
answer your question, Vikas.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Tripti, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Sairam brother.
Sairam
Sairam
sister.
Naveen garu.
Sairam sister.
So, like as you have mentioned previously, stating that if we have completed MBA with HR specialization, we can take up such like SAP courses, which will be helpful further in this HR recruitment and all. So, can you like just explain about few courses? Not explain, give a gist of few courses which can be helpful. Like we have lot many Udemy, Coursera, different platforms in which we have such courses. So, which would be like most preferable in this present times?
Very good question. In present times for HR, one thing which Chaitanya is the king in that is good analytical skill. Somebody who has taken certification in advanced Excel, Power BI. HR doesn't need to go till Power BI, but at least certification in either MS Office or advanced Excel will really help. That is one thing any HR, any domain you would need, because in HR, there is always a need for analysis, and there is always a need for a HR who is quick, who is data driven, right? So if you take any data driven courses, and this is not just for HR, even this is for MBA finance and marketing people or any domain, anyone, anybody who is able to take certifications in advanced Excel or data driven courses will really make them stand out among the other candidates. Second thing, if you are very specifically asking me what courses in HR domain, then compensation and benefits is one thing which is a hot cake these days, because all organizations are trying to make their salary and their benefits which they are giving to the company more attractive and lucrative to the candidates. So they want to know, suppose I offer 1 lakh to a candidate, how do I divide that 1 lakh? How much is basic? How much is HRA? How much should I move towards food or Sodexo coupons? Or how much should I move towards any health insurance? What all benefits will come under compensation? How do I segregate that 1 lakh? All that things will come under this compensation and benefits certification. That is one course. Second most important thing is statutory acts. What is Employee Provident Fund Act? What is Employee State Health Insurance Act, ESIC? What is gratuity? Though they teach all these in labor legislations or industrial relations paper in your MBA HR, but still taking a certification would really add a lot of value, because in interview for HRs, definitely they'll ask at least 2 to 3 questions on your statutory benefits or labor laws. They'll simply ask, you have done MBA HR, right? Can you tell me about employee provident fund? What is contribution? What are percentages? What is employee contribution? What is employer contribution? Or can you talk about Wages Act? Can you tell about Gratuity Act? You should know. So second certification which you can learn is statutory acts or labor acts or industrial disputes act. These kind of acts and enactments you can learn. And third one is HR business partnering or HRBP or HR generalist related courses. And fourth one you can learn, which is hot cake in HR, recruitment or talent acquisition, which I am specialized in. These four are most of it. This would suffice, sister.
Uh,
Oh,
Sairam sister, I just wanted to let you know one thing. There is one
yes,
particular course called as HR Analytics. If you can pursue that, it would add great value to your resume as well, because
Very good.
you'll be end up with you'll start your career as a HR manager. Then knowing all these kinds of statutory regulations is pretty much important. And in addition to that, if you can learn something about analytics, like if you can learn something about advanced Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and Google Sheets, you can rock your career. That's my guarantee. So
Very good.
really, that's a great domain.
yeah, thank you, brother. And Lavin Garu, thank you for that information. Like, actually, I'm into this BPO sector. It's been 5 years I've been working. So previously, I started as an associate. like taking voice calls and all. Then afterwards, I completely moved to a non-voice process where we have this workforce management analyst. So I've been working 3 years. It's been since 3 years that I'm an RT analyst. But now I after pursuing my MBA, I wanted to change my domain because it's like HR. So that is the reason I, like you stated, that we have to have these Excel uh, competencies which are presently very much in the market right now. So I have these advanced Excel courses which are there from Udemy. So it will be completed in 1 or 2 months. But I have seen that SAP Analytics, as Chaitanya Garu was stating it. So I was a little bit perplexed whether we have to like
No, it's not
get these.
SAP analysis. It's HR analytics, human resource analytics. It's
Okay.
a special domain where you will be working about the attrition rates and the turnover ratios and all those things. And it's pretty good subject. And there are many case studies related to that. And Google uses something called as the Aristotle techniques and all these things to retain its employees. And you get to know about all these case studies. And I recommend one particular book called as uh, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, yeah, sure, brother. That will
There are
be
many books on
very
the
much
case
helpful.
studies. Just go through them, so it will definitely
And do
boost
we
your
have any
career.
particular platform where we get to know about this certifications and we'll get it like we have these courses which on completion of which we get it linked with LinkedIn. Those certificates get linked up. So is it some platforms where we can get these
Udemy is one
certifications?
of the best platform. It is affordable, budget friendly. You can go through it. Otherwise, I suggest you one thing. There is a channel of mine, YouTube channel of mine. I just teach data analytics here in
Okay.
Sai Yuvakranti. I also take some data sets related to the HR as well, and I just teach it. So you can go to that channel. It starts with I.N.S.A.T. INSAT.
And
Yeah. You're from our group, or you're?
yeah, I'm from your group, and even I was added by us, like Vamsi
Yeah,
Garu in that
yeah. Vamsi
team.
brother pretty much
Team.
knows it well. Just ping
Yeah.
him. He can send you the link of my channel.
Yeah.
There you can follow it. The videos are in both Telugu and English as well. You can follow whatever you like.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lavin Garu and Chaitanya Garu, for that input and your
Thank you.
valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sairam.
Our pleasure,
Bye.
sister. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
So next person, Anjani Sriram, you can unmute yourself and
సాయిరామ్ సార్.
Sairam.
నేను సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలపర్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నాను. నాకు కోడింగ్ అంటే చాలా ఇంట్రెస్ట్. బట్ ఏం
Hmm.
స్కిల్స్ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసుకోవాలో అర్థం కావట్లేదు.
Okay, wonderful question. మీరు బీటెక్ చేశారా?
నో, ఐఎమ్ డిగ్రీ బిఎస్సి కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్.
పర్లేదు, ఏమి ఇబ్బంది లేదు. మీరు ఆమ్, మీకు ఇప్పుడు 4 to 5 డొమైన్స్ ఉంటాయండి. ఇప్పుడు
ఓకే
మీరు
సార్.
మీకు ఆల్రెడీ తెలిసే ఉంటది. .NET ఒకటి, జావా ఒకటి, పిహెచ్పి, పైథాన్ అండ్ క్యూఏ టెస్టింగ్ డొమైన్. అది సిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సిక్స్ మీకు వచ్చి వెబ్ ఆర్ యూఐ/యూఎక్స్ అంటారు, డిజైనింగ్. ఓకే, సో మీరు ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేయాలంటే మీరు అనలైజ్ చేయాలి, మీరు ఏ డొమైన్ లోకి వెళ్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు. ఒకవేళ మీరు అన్నట్టు కోడింగ్ లోకి వెళ్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు, సాఫ్ట్వేర్ సైడ్ వెళ్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారంటే .NET సర్టిఫికేషన్స్ కానీ ఆర్ .NET వర్చువల్ క్లాసెస్ అటెండ్ అవ్వండి. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ మీరు చేయాల్సింది అది. మీరు జావా, .NET, పైథాన్ ఏ మూడు తీసుకోవాలనుకున్నా మీ అల్గోరిథమ్స్, మ్యాథమెటికల్ స్కిల్స్, కోడింగ్ స్కిల్స్ కొంచెం స్ట్రాంగ్ గా ఉండాలి. అది ఉంటే గానీ మీరు చేయలేరు. ఎందుకంటే ఏ టెక్నికల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలోనైనా మీకు బయటికి అంటే ఓరల్ గా మీకు కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారు డొమైన్ మీద. బట్ మీరు ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆన్సర్ చేస్తూ ఆర్ చేయకపోయినా చేసినా మీకు సైమల్టేనియస్ గా ఆన్లైన్ కంపైలర్ ఒకటి ఓపెన్ చేయమని, స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేయమని, మీకు కోడ్ చేయమంటారు చిన్నది. నాకు ఇది కావాలి, మీరు కోడ్ ఎలా రాస్తారు అని. ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి ఇంటర్వ్యూలోని ఫస్ట్ మీరు థరోగా .NET డెవలప్మెంట్ కోర్స్ ఆర్ జావా డెవలప్మెంట్ కోర్స్ ఆర్ పైథాన్ ఆర్ పిహెచ్పి డెవలప్మెంట్ కోర్స్, మీరు ఏ స్ట్రీమ్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలనుకున్నారు ఆ కోర్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. నన్ను అడిగితే ఏది హాట్ కేక్ అంటే .NET అండ్ పైథాన్ అండి. ఈ రెండు దే ఆర్ బూమింగ్. పైథాన్ ఏంటంటే మీకు కొంచెం .NET కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటే ఈజీ, బట్ .NET కొంచెం కాంప్లికేటెడ్ అంతే. బట్ స్టిల్ బోత్ హ్యావ్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ అడ్వాంటేజెస్, డిస్అడ్వాంటేజెస్. పైథాన్ ఫ్రెషర్స్ ఎక్కువ ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తున్నారు ఐడియల్లీ. బట్ ఈ రెండు మీకు దే ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్ కోర్సెస్. లేదు సార్ నా వల్ల కోడింగ్ ఇదంతా నాకు కాదు, మీరు క్రియేటివ్ అనుకుంటే, మీకు డిజైనింగ్ వైపు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే UI/UX డిజైనింగ్ వైపు వెళ్ళండి. యూజర్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ డిజైనింగ్ అంటారు, ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ అంతా, HTML, CSS
ఓకే,
ఇలాంటి
జావా
కోర్సెస్
స్క్రిప్ట్.
అన్ని, జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇలాంటి కోర్సెస్ అన్ని మీరు నేర్చుకొని వెళ్ళొచ్చు, ప్రాబ్లం
ఓకే
లేదు.
సార్.
బట్ ఏదైనా
అండ్
మీరు 6 months 3 months మినిమం కోడింగ్ క్లాసెస్ కి వెళ్ళాలి.
ఓకే సార్. అంటే నేను డిగ్రీ ఫైనల్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నాను. మా కాలేజీలో ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ వచ్చినాయి సార్. ఒక ఇంటర్వ్యూ నేను ఫేస్ చేశాను. అది ఏమైందంటే అది ఫెయిల్ అయింది. బట్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ వాళ్ళు ఏం అడిగారంటే జావా మీదే డెప్త్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు. బట్ టెల్ అబౌట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇలాంటి ఏం అడగలేదు సార్. జస్ట్ నీ పేరు ఏంటి అని అడిగారు. తర్వాత సబ్జెక్ట్ గురించి డెప్త్ లోకి వెళ్ళారు. బట్ మాకేంటంటే ఓన్లీ బేసిక్స్ వరకే బాగా చెప్తారు. అంటే సబ్జెక్ట్ పరంగా మాత్రమే నేర్పిస్తారు. ఇంకా అంతకు మించి ఏమి అంతేం నేర్పించరు. నేను విడిగా నేర్చుకున్నాను కొంచెం. కొన్ని
లేదు,
అయితే ఆన్సర్స్.
చాలా మంచి క్వశ్చన్ అమ్మా. ఇది కామన్ ప్రాబ్లం, అన్ని కాలేజెస్ లోని బేసిక్స్ చెప్తారు, ఓకే. బట్ అన్ని ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో డెప్త్ గా అడుగుతారు, స్పెషల్లీ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్. అందుకే మీరు ఏంటంటే సెపరేట్ గా యూట్యూబ్ వీడియోస్ కానీ, గూగుల్ ఆన్లైన్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి కోడింగ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్. మీరు ఫ్రీ కోడింగ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ యూజ్ చేసి మీకు ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ ఉంటాయి, ఫ్రీ కోడింగ్ ఎక్సర్సైజెస్. మీరు అవి చేయండి డైలీ. చేస్తే మీకు అలవాటు అవుతుంది కోడింగ్. అంటే క్యారెక్టర్స్ యూజ్ చేయడం కానీ, స్ట్రింగ్స్ యూజ్ చేయడం కానీ మీకు అలవాటు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా అవుతుంది గ్రాడ్యువల్ గా. మీరు ఆన్లైన్ ఫ్రీ కోడింగ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ అని టైప్ చేయండి, విల్ గెట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ అలా. అండ్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి, ఆమె అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ కి, టెక్నాలజీ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో మీకు బిహేవియరల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ 1% 2% ఉంటుంది, టెక్నికల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది 95%. మీకు డైరెక్ట్ గా క్వశ్చన్స్ మీకు ఫస్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ అడుగుతారు, ఎందుకంటే
అవును
బీటెక్
సార్.
చేసే వాళ్ళకి ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు ఏం ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేశారు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ రిలేటెడ్ దాని మీద ఎక్కువ క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉంటుంది. దాని తర్వాత వాళ్ళ కోడింగ్ స్కిల్స్, డొమైన్ నాలెడ్జ్, ఈ రెండు చెక్ చేస్తారు. సో ఈ ఏరియాస్ మీరు బాగా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతే మీరు క్లియర్ చేస్తారు. మా 99 ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ ఫెయిల్ అయినా 100th ఇంటర్వ్యూ మీకు రాసి పెట్టుంటే యూ గెట్ ఇట్. సో ట్రై చేయండి, పర్లేదు, హోప్ వదులుకోవద్దు. సాఫ్ట్వేర్ మంచి ఫీల్డ్ మీరు ఎంచుకున్నారు.
సార్ పర్సంటేజ్ చూస్తారా ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో, నాలెడ్జ్ చూస్తారా?
నాలెడ్జ్, మీరు ఎంత బాగా కోడ్ చేస్తున్నారు అంతే. మీకు టెక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్ కూడా చూడరమ్మా. మీకు ఇబ్బంది ఉంది ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడడం, తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడండి. కోడింగ్ కి ఇంగ్లీష్ తో పని లేదు కదా. మీరు
సార్
ఎక్స్ప్రెస్
బట్
చేయగలిస్తే బాగుంటది.
అంటే నాకు కొన్ని ఆన్సర్స్ తెలిసినా గానీ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో చెప్పలేకపోయాను, కొంచెం భయం
అదే అందుకే
వేసింది.
నేను మీకు ఈ పాయింట్ చెప్పాను, మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనే చెప్పక్కర్లేదు. మీకు ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది అనుకోండి, ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అడగండి, సార్ నాకు లాజిక్ తెలుసు, ఐ నో ద లాజిక్ సార్, బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ గివ్ మీ ఆపర్చునిటీ టు స్పీక్ ఇన్ తెలుగు, ఐ వుడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇట్ బెటర్ అని చెప్పి తెలుగులో వెంటనే షిఫ్ట్ అవ్వండి. ఎందుకంటే మీరు మీలో లాజిక్ ఉందా లేదా అన్నది చెక్ చేస్తారు, మీరు డాట్స్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారా లేదా అని. మీకు ఒక ప్రాబ్లం ఇచ్చారనుకోండి కోడింగ్, మీరు ఎండ్ రిజల్ట్ తీసుకురాగలుగుతున్నారా లేదా చూడరు. మీరు ఎంత వరకు వెళ్ళారో ఆ రిజల్ట్ తీసుకురావడానికి, ఆ కోడింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి కనిపిస్తుంది కదా, ఒక్కొక్క స్ట్రింగ్, ఒక్కొక్క క్యారెక్టర్ మీరు టైప్ చేసేటప్పుడు అవి చూస్తారు వాళ్ళు. అది మీరు వాటి గురించి వరీ అవ్వదు.
అంటే మా ఇంటర్వ్యూ వచ్చేసి ఓన్లీ వెబ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ సైడ్ సార్. అంటే వచ్చిన ఇంటర్వ్యూ వాళ్ళు.
Sairam sister, 3 more people are waiting in a row. So
ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
let us give chance to them as well. And you
ఓకే
you
సార్.
post
అమ్మ
me
మీకు
separately all your doubts. I'll just contact brother Vishwant and I'll get back to you.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Sairam.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Sairam, Satish, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. Laveen sir and Chaitanya sir.
Sairam.
Sir, before we are going to interview, so company profile గురించి ఏమైనా తెలుసుకోవాలంటారా? ఒకవేళ తెలుసుకోవాలి అంటే సో వాట్ లెవెల్, అప్ టు వాట్ లెవెల్ మేము తెలుసుకోవాలి అంటే,
Excellent.
వెదర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్డ్ ఆర్ ఫ్రెషర్, ఎనీవన్?
ఫస్ట్ కంపెనీ వెబ్సైట్ ఏంటో తెలుసుకోవాలండి మనం. We have to know what is company website and go to company website first. First, we should know, definitely we should know about the company before attending an interview. What is company's core product తెలుసుకోవాలి ఫస్ట్ థింగ్. అంటే కంపెనీ ఏ ప్రోడక్ట్ లో స్పెషలైజ్ అయి ఉంది అది తెలుసుకోవాలి. సాఫ్ట్వేరా, ఫార్మానా, బీపీఓనా, బ్యాంకా, లేకపోతే ఏంటి దాని కోర్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఏంటి? ఇఫ్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ అనుకోండి, స్టీల్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్, ఐరన్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్, లేకపోతే ఇంకేమైనా మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్, గ్లాస్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్, ఏంటి ప్రోడక్ట్? ఫస్ట్ కోర్ ప్రోడక్ట్ తెలుసుకోవాలి. తర్వాత కంపెనీ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయింది, దాని ఒరిజిన్ ఏంటి, కంపెనీ ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ అయింది ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అయ్యి, దాని తర్వాత కంపెనీ ఫౌండర్ ఎవరు, సిఇఓ ఎవరు, అందరినీ మనం గుర్తుంచుకోలేం. అట్లీస్ట్ ఫౌండర్స్ ఎవరు, హూ ఆర్ కీ ఫౌండర్స్, కీ పీపుల్, అలాంటి క్రూషియల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఇవి మట్టుగా మ్యాండేటరీ. కంపెనీ కాంపిటీటర్స్ ఎవరో తెలుసుకోవాలి.
ఓకే సార్.
Brother Subhash, you can unmute yourself.
Sairam brother, as a fresher గా ఒక రిఫరెన్స్ క్యాండిడేట్ కి కంపెనీ వెబ్సైట్ లో అప్లై చేసిన క్యాండిడేట్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఎలా ఉంటది, ఒక రిఫరెన్స్ క్యాండిడేట్ యొక్క సినారియో ఎలా ఉంటది, త్రూ కంపెనీ వెబ్సైట్ కి ద్వారా అప్లై చేసిన క్యాండిడేట్ యొక్క సినారియో ఎలా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పండి.
వెరీ గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్. రిఫరెన్స్ కి కంపెనీ వెబ్సైట్ లో అప్లై చేసిన క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఒక్క దగ్గరే వేరియేషన్ ఉంటుందండి. ఏంటంటే రిఫర్డ్ క్యాండిడేట్ ని కొంచెం ముందు పెడతారు, ఆ సివి కొంచెం పైన పెడతారు. అండ్ రిఫర్ చేసిన ఎంప్లాయీకి ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ అటెండ్ అవ్వడానికి ఇస్తారు, అంతే. అండ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలోని ఎందుకంటే ప్రతి కంపెనీలో ఒక నామ్ ఉంటుందండి. అంటే చిన్న చిన్న కంపెనీస్ ఫాలో అవ్వరు, వాళ్ళు తీసుకుంటారు. మిడ్ సైజ్ పెద్ద కంపెనీస్ లో నామ్, ఒక రూల్ ఏంటంటే ఎవరైతే రిఫర్ చేశారో ఆ పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్యానెల్లో ఉండకూడదు. ఒకవేళ ఆ పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్యానెల్లో ముందు నుంచే లేడు, జస్ట్ అన్ ఎంప్లాయీ అయితే పర్లేదు. లేకపోతే మట్టుగా ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ రిఫర్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్యానెల్లో ఉండరు. కాబట్టి ఇంటర్వ్యూ ప్యానెల్లో క్యాండిడేట్ అక్కడ అప్లై చేసిన క్యాండిడేట్ అయినా, రిఫరెన్స్ లో వచ్చిన క్యాండిడేట్ అయినా స్కిల్స్ కే ఎక్కువ వెయిటేజ్ ఇస్తారు. బట్ రిఫర్డ్ క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ పంపిస్తారు ఇంటర్వ్యూకి, ఆర్ ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తారు ఇంటర్వ్యూకి పిలవటానికి, ఆర్ ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ ఆల్ చేయడానికి క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఇస్తారు. అక్కడ కొంచెం వెయిటేజ్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, అంతే. రిఫర్డ్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఆర్ అదర్వైజ్ అంతా సేమే ఉంటుంది, పెద్ద వేరియేషన్ ఉండదు. అడ్వాంటేజ్ డిస్అడ్వాంటేజ్ పెద్దగా ఉండదు. చిన్న కంపెనీ అయితే ఆబ్వియస్లీ పార్షియాలిటీ, బయస్నెస్ ఉంటాయి. కాబట్టి రిఫర్డ్ క్యాండిడేట్ ని తీసుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఎలాగైనా తీసుకుంటారు, అది వేరే విషయం. బట్
It
ఫార్మల్
is
గా
like నువ్వు పూజారికి పరిచయం అయితే యూ విల్ గెట్ మోర్ ప్రసాదం లైక్ దట్.
దగ్గర నుంచి దర్శనం, మోర్ ప్రసాదం.
ఓకే బ్రదర్, థ్యాంక్ యూ బ్రదర్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా, సతీష్ జగన్న గారు, యూ కెన్ అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అండి.
Sairam sir.
Sairam.
Yeah, Sairam. Actually, I'm working for an MNC and have 2.5 years of experience. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే నాకు ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ లో దే డిడ్ంట్ క్రియేట్ పిఎఫ్ అకౌంట్ యాజ్ ఐ వాజ్ హైడ్ యాజ్ ఎ ట్రైనీ. ఇప్పుడు తర్వాత నా రోల్ ఫుల్ టైమ్ గా కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు నాకు 2.5 years ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది విత్ ద ట్రైనీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ యాజ్ వెల్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు నేను కంపెనీ స్విచ్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నా.
ఏం ప్రాబ్లం
సరే,
అస్సలు జీరో ప్రాబ్లం.
ఓకే, అంటే నేను
ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ యాడ్ ఆన్ కదా.
ఓకే, కెన్ ఐ ప్రెజెంట్ మై టోటల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ యాజ్ ఎ ఫుల్ టైమ్?
వెరీ మచ్, ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఇంటర్న్షిప్. ఎక్సెప్ట్ మీరు ఎంబీఏ గానీ, బీటెక్ గానీ, ఎంటెక్ గానీ, ఎంసీఏ గానీ, బిఎస్సి గానీ, బీకామ్ చేసేటప్పుడు, మీరు ఫుల్ టైం చదువుకుంటున్నప్పుడు, మీరు చదువుతుండగానే మీ కోర్స్ టెన్యూర్ లోపున ఏవైనా అకాడమిక్ ఇంటర్న్షిప్స్ చేస్తే, ఐదర్ మీ కాలేజ్వి లేదు మీరు స్వతహాగా ఏమైనా చేసుకుంటే చదువుకుంటూ, అవి తప్పితే ఇంకా ఏదైనా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కిందే వస్తారు. అవి కన్ఫర్మ్ గా మీ రెజ్యూమేలో మెన్షన్ చేయాలి, అది మీకు ప్లస్ పాయింట్.
ఎస్ ఎస్ అంటే మాకు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు కూడా ఫుల్ టైం అంటే ఫుల్ టైం లానే ఇస్తున్నారు. నా కరెంట్ రోల్
Correct.
ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ రోల్ ఇస్తున్నారు, టోటల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కూడా.
Correct.
కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే 1 year నాకు పిఎఫ్ లేదు. ఇంకొకటి సార్
పర్వాలేదు.
వన్ మోర్ డౌట్. నేను ప్రెసెంట్ 1 domain లో ఉన్నా, ఇంకొక డొమైన్ ఈ క్లౌడ్ AWS కి మైగ్రేట్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నా. సో నాకు ఎవ్రీ స్కిల్ అయితే మొత్తం నేర్చేసుకున్నా. ఒక పాస్ట్ వన్ ఇయర్ నుంచి ప్యారలల్ గా నేను రెండింటి మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నా. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను డొమైన్ చేంజ్ అవుతున్నా కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు నా రోల్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది నేను ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేసుకోగలను యాజ్ ఎ డెవలప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ గా. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆ రోల్ డిజైన్ ఇంజనీర్ అని ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుందా ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఫుల్ స్కిల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు? మా
ఏం
కంపెనీ
ప్రాబ్లం
ఇంజనీరింగ్,
అవ్వదు.
మా కంపెనీలో సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. సో మాది కంప్లీట్లీ నెట్వర్క్ డిజైనింగ్.
ఏం ప్రాబ్లం అవ్వదు. మీరు ఒక్కటి చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే ఒక్కసారి గూగుల్లోని మీ డెవాప్స్ కి రిలేటెడ్ ఏమైనా సినోనిమ్స్ ఉన్నాయా చెక్ చేసుకోండి. మీ ఏరియాకి, మీ డెసిగ్నేషన్ కి, మీ స్కిల్ కి ఏవైనా సిమిలర్ స్కిల్స్, ఆల్టర్నేట్ నేమ్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా చెక్ చేసుకోండి. చెక్ చేసుకొని అవి మీ రెజ్యూమేలో పెట్టుకోండి. మీకు మామూలుగా ప్రాబ్లం ఏమి ఉండదు, బట్ అవి ఉంటే ఇంకొంచెం అడ్వాంటేజ్. అంటే మీరు ఇప్పుడు డొమైన్ చేంజ్ అవుతున్నారు కాబట్టి ఎక్కడైనా మీరు కొత్త డొమైన్కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు ఆ ఎంప్లాయర్ ఓకే మనకు కావాల్సిన డిఫరెంట్ డొమైన్, బట్ ఈ క్యాండిడేట్ ఉన్నది డిఫరెంట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అని మిమ్మల్ని రిజెక్ట్ చేయకూడదు. అందుకే మీరు వెళ్తున్న ఆర్ మీరు అటెండ్ అవుతున్న కంపెనీకి ఆర్ మీరు చేంజ్ అవుతున్న డొమైన్ కి, మీరు ఇప్పుడు చేసిన వర్క్ కి కామన్ గా ఉన్న స్కిల్స్ ఏమున్నాయో అవి ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోండి.
ఉన్నాయి సార్, సిమిలర్ గా ఉంది యాక్చువల్ గా.
ఉన్నాయి.
మేము చేసేది ఒక ప్రాసెస్, దానికి నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాసెస్ డెవలప్స్ యాక్చువల్ గా.
సో అయితే మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే కామన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్ కన్ఫర్మ్ గా మీ రెజ్యూమేలో పెట్టుకోండి.
ష్యూర్ సార్.
అండ్ డెసిగ్నేషన్ స్పెసిఫిక్ గా ఓన్లీ ఆ డొమైన్ కి లిమిట్ చేయొద్దు. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు జావా డెవలపర్ అని పెట్టడం వేరు, సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలపర్ ఆర్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ అని పెట్టడం వేరు కదా. వెన్ యూ సే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలపర్ ఆర్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్, దట్ మీన్స్ యు నో మల్టిపుల్ areas or multiple stacks of technology. You can either do back end, you can either do front end, or you can do both. Or you can do coding in both Python as well as Java. But if you say only you're Java developer, that means you do not know other stacks కదా. బట్ మీకు తెలుసు. సో అలాంటి చిన్న చిన్నవి చాలా మైన్యూట్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ తీసుకొస్తాయి కాబట్టి అలాంటి సిమిలారిటీస్, డిసిమిలారిటీస్ అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకోండి సివిలో, మీ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో. ఇంకేం ప్రాబ్లం ఉండదు.
యాక్చువల్లీ డెవలప్స్ ఇస్ ఏ కల్చర్. నేను మా టెక్నాలజీ, ఏదైతే మా డొమైన్ లో నేను డెవలప్స్ కల్చర్ ని అడాప్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం అని నేను ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నా. సో దట్స్ పాసిబుల్ కూడా. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ యువర్ టైం.
So thank you very much, my dear brothers and sisters, for your wonderful participation. And I'm really delighted that to see till now 9:40 it is, and almost 2 hours. Thank you very much, brother Vishwant Garu. And all whatever the words I say, they cannot really justify your hard work, because the kind of attention that you have paid and that kind of answers that you have given, the kind of patience that you have exhibited. And everyone know that HR is not a piece of cake. We need to deal with the people, we need to manage them. And I share that beautiful experience of working along with him, with his team. And he's such a nice person, beautiful heart, kind hearted. So may Swami bless you with everything you want to have in your life. That is what I can say. I pray Swami that everything, whatever you want to have in your life, all of them may be granted to you. So thank you very much for your wonderful time, brother.
విశ్వంత్ గారు సార్, వంశీ అండి.
వంశీ సార్ ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
ఇట్స్ వండర్ఫుల్, యాక్చువల్లీ వండర్ఫుల్ సెషన్ అండి. I could not hold myself to thank you at this moment.
Actually, did you listen the entire session, or did you?
Yeah. Arey, you are using the same punch of mine on me again, Chaitanya. No, no, really, I have been following this only at the inception, like the start of the session. I missed out few 5-10 minutes, but due to some personal reason. But wonderful, sir. It's an eye-opening session. I will make sure I will like circulate this session link. Actually, this is a recorded session, so we'll ensure that this reaches all the aspirants. Actually, this really it's a open banana put in mouth answer. Like it's a so what do you call అన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇందులో ఆన్సర్ అయ్యాయని నాకు ఒక ఫీలింగ్ సార్. Honestly, bottom of my heart, thank you for sparing this valuable time. Excellent, Andy.
I should thank all of you. Such a good platform you have created for youngsters and youth these days. Busy lives, busy days, and you all are taking so much of time and efforts in sharing the knowledge, which is the biggest service for youth. And thanking Swami, thanking all of you for giving me this opportunity and listening with patience. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing my insights. And out of surprise to me is that people who have 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, 8 years, people working with MNCs are also have joined, and they have been almost for 2 hours patiently listening. So that is a biggest commitment, and
That too,
it
this is week
reflects
off.
how well you all are coordinating. How well you are coordinating, it is very much seen. And great job, Vamshi Garu, Chaitanya, and your team is really, really doing wonders. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother
Because
Vishwant.
people for paid
And
sessions only, even though they pay for that sessions, they are not staying so long. They're just offing their videos, they're switching off their videos, and they're moving out. They're not listening. But this crowd, which I have seen, observed today, they're really good. They're really attentive, promising, and the credit goes to the organizing team and committee. Very, very good job. Well done. Thank you so much. It motivates me rather.
thank you, brother Vishwant. And we know that since the inception of Sai Yuva Kranti, you're one of the pillars in this initiation. And whatever the thought we come forward with, and you always supported and you always stood by it. And I really can't thank you enough, because me and brother Vamsi brainstormed together for many different things. And with Bhagwan's blessings, I don't know whether I should quote this here or not. We are coming with much more beautiful sessions like this, and much more beautiful projects and initiations like this. And we are also planning a full time, uh, and we are also having a project to place people in their apt jobs. So we are working on it, and brother Vishwant is main pillar for that. He is working very hard for that project. So I just wanted to thank brother Vishwant for whatever the work, whatever the service that you are doing for Swami's sake. Because if you are not there, this what me and Vamsi can do, we don't have a experience relating to the HR, right?
Thank
Thank
you,
you, brother.
Sairam. Sairam, then I'll sign off. Thank you once again. Yeah.
Sairam, brother. I just chant the Shanti
Sairam.
Mantram and let us close the session.
Sure.
Om Shanti 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 Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om शांति 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 ही. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सच्चे साई बाबा जी की जय. So thank you very much everyone for your
Sairam.
wonderful participation.